Welcome to SAT Prep Thursday. Today, we're doing College Board SAT Practice Test number 8, Part 3. This is not a calculator-approved section. Also, there is a file link in the description for this practice test. In the equation shown above, what is the value of x? So first, let's just simply combine all the like terms on both sides of the equation. This is going to give us 6x minus 5 on the left. This is going to be equal to 7 plus 2x on the right. Moving 2x to the other side, I'm going to get 4x. Moving 5 to the other side, I'm going to get 12. So dividing both sides by 4, I get 3. D is the answer. The graph above shows the distance traveled D in feet by a product on a conveyor belt m minutes after the product is placed on the belt. Which of the following equations correctly relates D and m? So we're going to take a look at a y is equal to mx plus b form. Now that graph starts at 0, 0, which means that b is 0. So really I only have y is equal to mx. Now m being the change in y over the change in x gives me a 2 over 2 when I look. In order to find the slope, I'm going to look at this point right here saying the change in y over change in x. This means that I'm going to wind up with a 2 over 1, or a slope of 2, meaning I have D is equal to 2m, which is A. The formula below is often used by project managers to compute E, the estimated time to complete a job, where O is the shortest completion time, P is the longest completion time, and M is the most likely completion time. Which of the following correctly gives P in terms of E, O, and M? So really, we're just solving this for P. Let's multiply both sides by 6 to have 6E is equal to O plus 4M plus P. Now let's move all of this to the other side so that we can have 6E minus O minus 4M is equal to P. That means that A is the answer. In the figure, RT is equal to TU. What is the value of X? So we start by simply saying that RT and TU are the same. This means that this is an isosceles triangle. So 180 minus 114 is going to give us 66 degrees as the total of these two angles. But we divide that by 2 to get 30 degrees for each of these. Or 33 degrees, my bad. We have 66 divided by 2. So 33 degrees on each one. Now for this large triangle, I have 31 degrees, 33 degrees, and some unknown value here. I can say 180 minus 33 minus 31, and that's going to give us 116 degrees. So x plus 116 would be equal to 180, meaning 180 minus 116 degrees is going to give us 64 degrees as x, so C is the answer. The width of a rectangular dance floor is W feet. The length of the floor is 6 feet longer than its width. Which of the following expresses the perimeter in feet of the dance floor in terms of W? So we can understand that we have a W and L. Now L in both cases is W plus 6. This means that I would have W plus W plus W plus 6 plus W plus 6 to get 4W plus 12, which means B is the answer. Which of the following consists of the y coordinates of all of the points that satisfies the system of inequalities? Well, we already know that that 2x has to be greater than 5. This means that x has to be greater than 5 over 2. Knowing that x is greater than 5 over 2, y is greater than 2 times x, which is 5 over 2, minus 1. So y would be greater than 5 minus 1, which is 4, so B is the answer. What is the solution set of the equation above? Let's start by just simply solving for x. We're going to move 4 to the other side and change its sign so that I have 2x plus 6 is equal to x minus 1. Now, to get rid of this square root, how about we square both sides so that we get 2x plus 6 is equal to x minus 1 squared, which would give us x squared minus 2x plus 1. Move everything to the same side of the equal sign so I can have 0 is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 5. Now I can factor this and see that 0 is equal to x minus 5 times x plus 1. This means that 5 is an answer and that negative 1 is an answer. So we have to substitute these into the original equation to see how they would work out. We're going to start by using the 5. 5 plus 3 is 8, and I need this side to be 8. So 5 times 2 is 10, plus 6 is 16. The square root of 16 is 4. Plus 4 is 8. So 5 definitely works. The question is, does negative 1 work? Negative 1 would give me a 2 on the right, would give me 4, or negative 2, plus 6 would give me 4. The square root of 4 being 2, plus 4 is 6. That is not a solution. So we wind up with simply B, 5, the set of 5 as the answer. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to f of x divided by g of x for x is greater than 3? Let's first turn some of these into some factored forms. So x squared minus 2x minus 3, that would be x minus 3 times x plus 1. Now let's simplify x cubed minus 9x. That would become x times x squared minus 9. Now x squared minus 9 is a perfect square. So I would get x times x minus 3 times x plus 3. We want f of x divided by g of x. So we get x times x minus 3 times x plus 3 divided by x minus 3 times x plus 1, and we eliminate the x minus 3's. This leaves us with x times x plus 3 over x plus 1, which means that D is the answer. In the xy plane, the graph of the equation above is a circle. Point P is on the circle and has the coordinate 10, negative 5. If PQ is the diameter of the circle, what are the coordinates of Q? Now we can tell from this that the center of the circle is at 6, negative 5. So looking at that x minus 6 and considering x sub 1 minus 10 divided by 2, we would get 6 as an answer. Also, y plus 5 would have us then consider y sub 1 minus 5 divided by 2 being equal to negative 5. So now we have two equations to consider to find x sub 1 and y sub 1. So let's solve for x sub 1 by multiplying both sides by 2, giving us x sub 1 minus 10 is equal to 12, or x sub 1 is equal to 2. Realistically, I have my answer, and that is all done. A is the answer. But if I wanted to check right here, if I multiply both sides by 2, I get y sub 1 minus 5 is negative 10, and y sub 1 is negative 5. A group of 202 people went on an overnight camping trip, taking 60 tents with them. Some of the tents held 2 people, and the rest held 4 people each. Assuming all tents were filled to capacity and every person got to sleep in a tent, how many of the tents were 2-person tents? Well, I start simply by knowing the 2 and the 4-person tents made 60 tents in total, and that 2 people per 2-person tent plus 4 people per 4-person tent gave us 202 people. So how about I multiply the top equation by a negative 2? That would give me now negative 2. That would give me negative 2x minus 2y was equal to negative 120. Combine both of these equations, canceling out the x's, giving me 2y is equal to 82, or y is 41. That means, considering this equation right here, that x plus 41 is equal to 60, meaning x is 19. C is the answer. Which of the following could be the equation of the graph above? So for this, all we need to do is figure out where the zeros are. And one of the x's is right here at the origin, which means I would have an x all by itself. I can eliminate these x squareds. Another one of these would cross at x minus 2. So if it doesn't have an x minus 2, it gets eliminated. This would give me an x plus 3, verifying that A is the answer. If 2a over b is equal to 1/2, what is the value of b over a? Well, 2a over b being equal to 1/2 means that 2a is equal to b over 2, and that 4a is equal to b. It also means that 4 is equal to b over a, which is what we were after, so D is the answer. Oil and gas production in a certain area dropped from 4 million barrels in 2000 to 1.9 million barrels in 2013. Assuming that the oil and gas production decreased at a constant rate, which of the following linear functions f best models the production in millions of barrels t years after the year 2000? So we're running after a y is mx plus b format here. And m would be 4 minus 1.9 divided by 2000 minus 2013, which means m is negative 2.1 over 13. Now, let's simplify this and actually call it negative 21 over 130 so that we don't have decimals. So I need a slope of negative 21 over 130. And we can say not it, not it, not it, must be the answer, C. How many solutions are there to this system of equations? Starting out, I see that the highest exponent is 2, which means the most answers that could possibly be is 2, so 4 is out. But the other 3 do exist as a possibility. Let's subtract the bottom equation from the top equation. But before we do that, let's actually get them both in the same form. So y is x squared plus 3x minus 7, and y is 5x minus 8. That way I can subtract these two equations, giving me y is x squared minus 2x plus 1. This allows me to see it as a factored form of x minus 1 squared being equal to y. This means I have only one answer where x is 1. So there is exactly one answer, C. The function g and h are defined above. What is the value of h of 0? To do this, we're first going to go find out what g of 0 is, and that's 2 times 0 minus 1, which means that we're looking at a negative 1. Now, h of 0 would be equal to 1 minus that g of 0, which is negative 1. So we have a 1 plus 1, or 2, meaning D is the answer. If a is a solution of the equation above and a is greater than 0, what is the value of a? Let's first go ahead and get this into factored form. And I'm going to write that as x plus 4 times x minus 3 is equal to 0. That means that either this or this is 0. This gives me x is negative 4. This gives me x is 3. So x is negative 4 or 3. But a must be greater than 0, eliminating the negative 4, giving me x is 3. The sum of negative 2x squared plus x plus 31 and 3x squared plus 7x minus 8 can be written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are constants. What is the value of a plus b plus c? So we first need to go ahead and combine some like terms. We have negative 2x squared plus x plus 31. We have a 3x squared plus 7x minus 8. So let's add all of these together, and we're going to get x squared plus 8x plus 23. Now we want to know what is the value of the a, the b, and the c, or 1 plus 8 plus 23, which is 32. If xy satisfies the system of equations above, what is the value of y? So luckily, the x's are opposites to each other. So we go ahead and just combine both of these. We're going to add both of these together. That's going to give us 4y is equal to 6, meaning that y is 6 over 4 or 3 over 2. A startup company opened with 8 employees. The company's growth plan assumed that 2 new employees will be hired each quarter or every 3 months for the first 5 years. If an equation is written in a form y is equal to ax plus b to represent the number of employees, y employed by the company x quarters after the company opened, what is the value of b? So we're looking at this equation, y is mx plus b. Really, I know it says ax plus b. When it comes to the change, that m value, we're going to get a 2. We have a 2x, but still we are after actually the b value. What is this b to begin with? Well, it is the 8 employees that began with the company. So b is equal to 8. It's important to note that this figure is not drawn to scale. In the circle above, point A is the center, and the length of arc BC is 2 over 5 of the circumference of the circle. What is the value of x? Well, if BC is 2 over 5 of the total circle, and a total circle is 360 degrees, then we can say that we have 2 over 5 times 360, and that's going to give us our x value. 360 divided by 5 is 72, and 72 times 2 is 144 as x.